And then they ended off here in the first phase with an Enigma. So they have double deny, at least in the laning phase, which is really annoying to deal with in the first phase with an Enigma. So yeah, there's that. But they have on the other side, you also got AA and Veno, which is also an extremely potent ult combination. Ulting with Veno to get them all low and just have that huge dot on Veno, which is also an extremely potent apparition. And everyone's HP just drains like crazy. So some strong things on both sides to start things off. Earthshaker, this is looking like a very NA draft if I've ever seen one for Team Kinguin.
Yeah, perhaps some influence for them, but yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Kinguin's definitely been a team that they've even qualified for a minor here out of the European region. So one that's been a strong team for a while here, formerly known as Alternate Attacks last year. If that rings a bell for anyone tuning in. But again, these 5 players have been playing together for a while and looking pretty good. But yeah, a lot of wombo combos, I like to say, all that AoE. Honestly, like a Faceless Void is really standing out to me now, too, for Team Kinguin as a possibility here.
Sure, it's really good against Enigma. It's hard to kind of navigate, maneuver your way around a Chrono. It can be done, but even more so, it's a pretty big AoE counter to that. I mean, you can't buy Lincolns, you can't buy BKB, so I'm on board with that. They pick up a Viper here in 4th position, but they could definitely still make room for that Faceless Void. There might be other options, of course, as we see the draft unfold. I do believe they have last pick. Yeah, they do. So they're going to be able to see everything that Hellraisers picks before they pick their last hero. So Sand King here for Hellraisers. I always like Sand King if you pick up a Lich. I think I've said this before in a previous cast. But when you pick up Lich, you need to make sure that your other support has a hard stun, first of all, and is not immobile. Like, you can move around on Sand King. Lich is very immobile. He sits in his lane, or whichever lane he chooses. Can maybe bounce around from lane if you need to help another lane that's really struggling, but typically you just want to sit in that lane, take advantage of the fact that you're getting way more experience and taking away the experience of that other hero. If you move around, it kind of takes away that whole idea. So Sand King supplements that immobility that you have from the Lich, and it also supplements the fact that you don't have a stun from a Lich. So I like Sand King. Another hero what kind of fits that bill is like a Tuskar. Earthshaker sometimes is picked, but it's not as consistent of a stun as Sand King. And by consistent, I mean like sometimes your well, there goes Alexa again. Is sometimes your Fisher stun can kind of screw you over. So
yeah, the Alexa saying hello this morning.
Dude, I don't know. She has some weird trigger words. Like I've been saying random things, and she's just like, I don't know.
Never thought about that as far as the strategy goes. You're like, whoa, what? Alexa, you're a Dota fan. All right. No, but that 4th pick for Hellraisers, though, I mean, just really both teams screaming just a lot of team fight. Now, obviously, Kinguin was very confident with that Viper pick, though. We talked about Faceless Void. You mentioned, I mean, that could still be pushed in to the lineup for sure, but Viper was, he doesn't necessarily fit the theme that they were going with so far in the sense of a lot of team fight presence. Instead, he's more that individual artist, of course, and just a strong mid laner, though. But what do you think made them so confident with the Viper pick here?
Probably because they wanted to pick some kind of strong mid laner that doesn't have to that can maybe deal with Lich +1. So Viper, Puck is pretty good, Quap is pretty good. All those heroes were actually still unbanned, or they have some other kind of idea altogether. But my thinking is they wanted to make sure that if it is a Lich dual lane mid, that they have a very strong mid laner to potentially deal with that.
Like in the 4th pick for Hellraisers here. So Hellraisers going for the one position you'd figure that's going to be in this. So they still need their mid matchup, and it goes back to the idea you pretty much know you're going up against a Viper. Can be confident in that. So who do you pick for that? Obviously, knowing that you do have the Lich at least to assist. And speaking of that double deny you mentioned, is there any possibility that we could see like the mid or the off lane even being double denied? Is there an advantage for that, or would you rather just spread it out to couple of different lanes?
I don't know. Like I actually rarely see it double denied, but with mid lane having that extra creep, it could be a case to do that in mid. If anything, I would use the double deny in the off lane and then just really screw over the enemy safe lane. Like that would be pretty devastating to deal with. And then on top of that, if you were able to TP out and smoke up and block a camp and block the pole, like they would have such a hard time dealing with that constant deny that Enigma would pose in the lane. So if anything, I would say in the off lane, because in mid it's kind of like a wash. Like even if you, it's like I said before, some mid players don't even like you to deny from mid because they play the lane in such that they will push out the lane and just auto attack the creeps and try to shove it into the tower to make it a little bit harder to last hit. So that kind of strategy doesn't go hand in hand with a deny, but it just really depends on personal preference or what mid hero you have. So we'll see. But if they did it, I would expect it to be in the off lane.
Kaiser, their mid player. A hero that's in general been very popular lately is that Mirana, and I know Kaiser's no different there, so maybe that's a thought that they could be going with for their final pick, and sure enough, it's going to be Queen of Pain, actually, instead. So they go Queen of Pain. Now Kinguin has that finish. Part of me was really expecting to just see that Faceless Void, man, but it is going to be the Lone Druid with their final pick, actually. Okay, so the safe lane Lone Druid. They have Patos playing the Venomancer. He's their offlaner, of course. So at least going to send him up there. Perhaps some dual offlane to start even, but quick finish with those final picks.
Yeah, I really like the start of Kinguin's draft, but I'm not as convinced with the finish. I thought the first three heroes were really strong. I think that the Lycan pick, in response to not only Viper but Venomancer and AA, it's such a good hero against those three heroes. They're very immobile heroes. They have no stuns at all. You can pretty much just run at them with Necro 3s, pending if that is the build he goes. And they have absolutely no answer to it other than maybe spam our spells and hope the dots take them down. I'm not sold on the Lone Druid other than the fact that the root is very, very strong against Quap. But I feel like they were going to pick it regardless because they picked it so fast. So I could be wrong, but maybe they were just that quick to say, oh, Quap, Lone Druid, you know.
Yeah.
But they did pick it quite quickly.
Yeah, it seemed like one that they were definitely thinking about for a while. I mean, they still had, I want to say, like a good minute left on the extra time. So I'm confident with it, and here we go. I go back to I mean, when it comes to, not that you need to really follow up all this AoE that you really brought with those first three picks, but, you know, something like that Faceless Void would have brought that just a little bit more on top of it when it came to the team fight here. But instead they get more kind of pick-off artists themselves with the Viper and the Lone Druid as far as more single target goes. And of course, we got that mock on the Radiance on Lone Druid, and actually provides plenty of AoE himself. So gonna be in the safe lane. You got Earthshaker, Ancient Apparition, and Venomancer all right now in the Radiant jungle to start. At the bottom side, they got the vision, too, to try to catch somebody over here, but
yeah,
he's playing it safe.
Yeah, and I wasn't checking to see if they actually saw the supports up top, because that ward is more towards the left side. It's not going to see up on top of the hill. Now, Milan is walking up here to potentially get... He's going to know right away that, the fact that the supports aren't contesting this rune and who gets... Yeah, Milan does get it. It's going to send a red flag to them. This is a very hard lane now for the Lycan. So this is good decision-making by Kinguin to go aggro. They realize that the Lich likes to park in a dual lane, but that Lich is going to have to move if they want this Lycan to get farm. They're recognizing that they have Lich Sand King, and Sand King duo of the Lycan is just not strong at all, so they're going aggro.
All right. So they do spread out the denies right here. Lich goes for middle. You had Enigma denying the top lane. Get things going into the laning phase. But as you pointed out, 3-3, he is definitely setting up to have a very, very difficult time. So I'd expect some sort of rotation coming out sooner than later. Speaking of that middle lane, they're trying to rotate on a Viper, perhaps, but it's never an easy kill. Sand King also, ooh, the courier. He backs off. He's going to wait for it to deliver, perhaps.
That's a hard courier snipe to go for as a Sand King, even with boots. Oh, he might get it. He's got to hit it obviously twice. No, he's not going to get it.
Yeah, too late.
It's really, really hard to do unless you're smoked and you're like standing right there on top of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is kind of an interesting, very difficult lane to deal with if you're Viper, especially when you're level 2. Stun comes out actually from the Earthshaker. Niche is going to be in a little bit of trouble. A couple auto attacks coming in, stun coming in from Milan. This will be a first. No deny there as Kakor tries to deny his buddy, but it will go towards the Sand King. So Nice rotation there.
Yeah, Earthshaker, as you mentioned, stunning in the backlines. They did not see Sand King there, though. So Milan had been hiding enough to prevent them from getting that information, and clearly that's what really caught them off guard in the end, and a lot for that Viper kill. So nice start for Hellraisers. 2-minute rune? Who's going to get this? It's Earthshaker versus Milan. Oh, Milan, good job with the stun timing. And he picks up the Arcane Rune, so it was a fun interaction there. Going back to Lycan, though. Lycan, he is a hero that could jungle potentially. I mean, obviously he's not going the Wolves build, so that would hurt that. But
yeah,
does he just have to really accept that this is just going to be a tough time down here?
Yeah, you're gonna have to, and that's why I really like this decision to go aggro. You know that Lich wants to be parked mid or dual lane somewhere. By the way, Viper is actually doing very well in terms of just CS and lane presence. He's dying right now. So despite him dying, he actually pops very far. He wants to live, but there's a blink through. Double stun from Milan. Unfortunately, the dagger was used on the other heroes, but it does look like Kakor is still going to fall. Going to try to deny himself to these Ancients. Couple auto attack. He does get the deny. But regardless, you know, Viper is dying a lot, but he's pretty much on par in terms of CS with Kaiser. So, yeah, he's dying as a very hard lane, but he's not doing too poorly. It's really this this Lycan down at the bottom lane that I'm very concerned for. He's got just really nothing. I mean, I guess he's getting levels, which is nice. He's actually level 3.5. So in that respect, he's doing good for himself. But to answer your question, like, he can't really jungle early on. It's just way too slow. And even if you do, the jungle creeps, of course, don't give as much as they used to. When we used to see lots of jungle Lycans, when the wolves were a bit stronger, and the jungle was a bit better, it was very viable, but it's just not that viable anymore.
So Queen of Pain definitely going to have to pick up on that slack there, not only getting the hero kills, but of course or in this case the assists, but doing pretty good on the CS. But yeah, with Viper doing all right considering the circumstances. You have, of course, top lane, an Exotic Deer playing the Lone Druid. He's doing kind of even with the Enigma up here. But that bottom lane, Patos, on the other hand, on the Venomancer, is going to be the high-value ticket for the Dire side. So you see a 3-3 doing a little bit of a creep pull, but Elisa, he's like, nah, I'm going to prevent you from doing that. Then pulls it right back into the lane. So, but yeah, they're definitely paying attention to this middle lane quite a bit, trying to really keep Viper in check as much as possible, at the cost of Lycan, though, and his sacrifice. And I was also looking at his build. He mentioned, okay, so he hits level 4, so now he has 2-2 as well, but I noticed at level 3 he actually went the second point into Feral Impulse, wondering if the Howl might have been just better value considering how this game's going here. But middle lane, Viper, more pressure. Milan's hunting down Kakor here, Kasor, I'm not even sure. I've been told it's pronounced different ways, but...
Yeah, I have no idea. I'll go with whatever you're going with, but Viper, still doing pretty decent in terms of CS. Obviously under some pressure here. There is Sand King now running behind as they ping him out. There's a Fisher to perhaps block, follow. Yeah. Quab does get stunned, and yeah, nice rotations and just sitting here and helping out his buddy. He is only level 1 on Earthshaker at 5 minutes. That is a bit of a concern.
Yeah. Both sides have their concerns, most certainly. But Viper, he's now level 4, so he actually went the second point in Corrosive Skin. Ring of Achilles finish. So he is becoming a more difficult kill, as we kind of saw right there. So I think Hellraisers just kind of missed out on that. It didn't really miss out on a window, because again, they killed him twice, but they can't do it as easily now as they were before. So maybe not putting as many resources into that idea. Instead going elsewhere. But for now, I mean, Lich is definitely just still camping the middle lane, and Sand King continues to be in that area as he will head towards the top lane. But Lone Druid and Enigma, they've really had a 1 versus 1 up here. Who do you think this is going to favor more as far as both of these having decent farm to start?
Well, it looks like Enigma was doing very well early on, of course, with the denies, but it's starting to even out a bit as Lone Druid's pulling to the side, getting some extra neutral creeps, getting some Eidolons as well. And now that he has 5, he has to he can pressure the Enigma and threaten him with a kill because of the root. So as a result, you see Sand King walk up there, maybe help him a little bit. I'm actually kind of surprised that Venomancer went strictly for a wards build, because it is pushing into the tower naturally into Lycan, and Lycan's getting very good levels as a result, and he's not really getting like damaged. He has that really high regen, so he's pretty healthy. He's almost level 6 now, so I personally would have liked to see more points into the either the Gale or just his passive, and just control the lane and make sure that Lycan gets nothing. It's a much more effective build, in my opinion, against a melee hero. But he's going the more farm route, the more pushing route. But you know, as you can see right here, it's kind of allowing him to just freely get all his levels and even get some farm now.
Yeah, he was 2-0 for the longest time on creep scores, and now he's 18-0, as you mentioned, almost level 6 on top of that. So really, I mean, it's not going that bad.
Benno is farming a lot more, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he's basically getting free levels here. And once he hits level 6, it doesn't really matter how much farm you have. You're still going to hit really, really hard. He's actually like 1 creep kill away from 6, and they go and initiate it onto him right now. He could be dead. He does have a Howl, so he's going to get some HP, but oh man, look at that. 1 creep away from level 6. He actually gets it right before he dies. Had he just maybe auto-attacked a creep as he's getting galed and hit, he could maybe lived. But that's just some unfortunate timing there for 3-3.
I noticed too, though, he actually chose not to use his Howl. It's nighttime as well, level 2.
Right.
He would have gotten, what is that? That would have been 100 life. That would have been 200 being nighttime. So I don't know if that would have kept him alive in the end, but it seemed like there was no reason not to. So yeah, he had a while there. But a little bit of panic, as you point out, just getting level 6. Maybe he was more focused on that and ultimately dies in the end.
So everything I just said about the wards build now is it doesn't matter because they killed him and took the tower.
Yeah.
Like if his only play right there is to, like you said, howl and like just auto attack or range creep. Or I don't know if a range creep was actually there, but he had to just kill a creep as fast as possible and get that 6. But it's really, really unfortunate timing for him.
Sexy Bamboo, he's running away right here from the Earthshaker. Going to be cut off by Viper, though. Viper strike is ready, puts it on, and now his only chance is maybe getting denied. Nope, not even going to go for that. He tries to continue to run, and Nisha does get credit for the kill there. They're running at Nisha, speaking of that. It's going to be a little bit too awkward of an angle, though, so that's not going to happen. The Howl was popped for some amp damage. But again, they can't really cut him off. Instead, they're going to go for a tower push. But you look at the top lane while this is happening right now. Exotic Deer has free push on the Lone Druid, especially with Enigma being dead currently. Back to the middle lane. They are going to engage somewhat. J4 blocked off. He goes down. Patos being here as well throughout that Venomous Gale, so they end up getting 1. Don't lose anything. Kinguin, a couple of pretty good kills, and it seems like things are coming online very well. You mentioned the bottom tower push. A couple of kills there.
Kinguin yeah, they're totally winning this laning phase. Obviously, the CS for Viper is not as high as Quap. The CS for the Lone Druid is not as high as the Enigma. They're they're basically winning all 3 lanes. I mean, having a Lich Quap mid and not getting, like, still allowing Viper to get all the CS is just not successful in my opinion. It's just a weird lane to begin with, right? Like Lich Quap. I think Quap just kind of does well on her own.
Yeah.
You typically have to see Lich paired with heroes that really don't do well on their own, but offer a little bit more in terms of mid to late game. So as a result, you saw Lycan really get suffered in the bottom lane. They took the tower, I mean, at 8 minutes, so things going very, very well here for Team Kinguin. Obviously, once we get into the mid game, spells like Chain Frost and Black Hole, of course, will come online, and he is going to go for a Midas, so going for that more mid to late game stage here for Sexy Bamboo.
Yeah, initiation is going to be huge this game, as it tends to be a lot, but when it comes to team fighting, I mean, both sides have that really big ability to set something up, and whoever they can catch, of course, can determine how the fights go. So as early of a lead this is for Kinguin, definitely don't overthink it, is the ultimate point right there. And speaking of that, Enigma, Hannah Midas is going to be delivered to him right now, so kind of keeping pace pretty well. The middle lane, Sandking's on the wrong side of that fissure. So is Kaiser, though, and you can, of course, blink if necessary. Howl was already used. Milan's going to dig down to the poison. Kaiser go for the turn, kill the Sonic Wave in the face of Ancient Apparition, and he's able to blink away before enough return damage happens onto him. In fact, Kesor here on the Earthshaker will just keep on running almost dead. And now Nisha going back in, but the fissure just out of range. So a lot of back and forth there in the middle, but ends up being a 1-for-1 between the two. So Lone Druid, let's talk about him for a second. Hannah Midas on the bear here currently. What kind of Lone Druid game is this? Is this going to be the bear build, or you think the range is more value of this game?
I think because, first of all, he has the Midas up. It's usually whenever you go Midas, it is a melee form build and not a range build. You just don't really need to build the Midas. Oh, first hit root onto the Enigma. Yeah. Just on cue. The Sexy Bow goes down. And that's part of the reason maybe why bear build might be a little bit better. because that root is so effective this game against the Enigma, against the Quap, even against the Lycan. So, yeah, Midas up, and you actually can see the Radiance queued up for him. So it is going to be the melee build.
Okay. That first hit root, frankly, I don't know if it was necessary. They were smoking around the backside.
It just feels bad, man, you know?
It does, yeah. It's intimidation, if anything. It's like, are you kidding me? This is how this game's going to go. So, yeah, gets got. Easy kill. He just got the hand of Midas. At least he was able to use it. So, coming off cooldown here. Not going to be too inefficient. Patos, though, what did he choose to go for? Hooded Defiance as well as the Ring of Aquila. And he has something else coming out, even. It's going to be the Ogre Club on top of that. Oh, no, that's a medallion for him. The Ogre Club's for Nisha, actually, in the middle lane. But in the medallion as well, yeah, this Venomancer really is farmed early on. And he hasn't really rotated much. He was in the middle lane a little bit. But, I mean, this bottom tower's been dead for a while. Do you think it would be more value maybe to go mid and push or jungle? Or is it fine just pushing up the lane?
I like what he's doing. Just parking in the bottom lane. And this is a threat now that HR always has to keep in the back of their mind, like, this bottom lane's always being pushed. We need to make sure we ward up our jungle because if he has any help, we can't gank him. It's hard to gank him enough as it is with him being so tanky. But now if he has somebody behind him, so at least they have that one ward. But no, I think he's just totally fine pushing this lane. He can solo kill this next tower. Maybe if they start diving towers really, really hard, he has that TP available. But I think his job right now is to just sit here, pressure this lane, and then do it as long as you can.
Yeah.
And if it takes 4 heroes to kill you, then space created.
As they say, yeah. So Patos, he's continuing to do that, and by the time he starts putting damage on the tier 2 tower, you'd figure he's going to get some kind of response. But for now, keeping on going. Up at the top lane, Milan and Sand King, he's kind of hunting around. And they placed a pretty aggressive ward behind the tower right here, so they know Ancient Apparition's nearby. They obviously know K-Sor on Earthshaker's also there. Ooh, the Burrow Strike just out of range. Sexy Bamboo still nearby as well, built on a Malphus, but nothing's really going to connect too much. And they kind of just have to fall back, so a little bit awkward of an exchange right there. As Viper even just freely pushing the middle lane. So Hellraisers finding it a little difficult in terms of what they want to do right now.
Up and Sexy Bamboo TP's out. I'm really surprised that Genki even worked. They saw him TP up there. They had a ward behind the tower, and he just casually walks up and gales with the stun. And it's not like they didn't know Earthshaker was there. They just saw him. So, yeah. They don't even have a tower they could push right there. So he actually, Patos, he TP's up top, and looks like he's just going to walk towards mid, maybe throw some wards, take this tower, and then walk back bottom.
Yeah, I went away from the top lane just looking at the mid lane because I just figured that they were going to retreat and be fine. But as you pointed out, I mean, they had that information, but for whatever reason, I don't know if they wanted a big black hole turn, maybe go for the big play, but
he was pretty much alone, so... And they saw him TP, and they actually countered the ward, too. That was behind the tower. They just countered it.
Oh.
So. But yeah, it looks like he is going to pressure. They do get the deny mid, so that's nice. But still, a lot of map control being lost here. All the towers are up here for Kinguin, and they have 3 on the side, or they have destroyed 3 towers, so much better position.
Radiance is queued up on the Lone Druid. You also see his level 11. He's so the level 10 talent, 250 health. So yeah, guarantees basically the idea that he's going that bear build. As Earthshaker's hiding up here, he's going to be found by the Sand King. Sexy Bamboo running as well, but there's definitely turn potential here. Elisa, he's nearby. Also has Viper coming in. Earthshaker, though, a little bit too much damage. And they couldn't really get over to the area. The Shapeshift 4 and 3/3 runs in with a Necronomicon, level 1. Going to run after Ancient Apparition. Nisha, Viper Strike, going to be used on Milan. The Ice Blast coming out, but there's a black hole to pull in Viper and secure the kill onto him. So that's a 3-kill streak stopper in favor of Hellraisers. And it actually came together for Hellraisers there at the top lane. Yeah. That's got to feel good.
That's just the aspect of Lycan being good against these heroes. Lycan was 4th picked into these heroes, and it's good against at least 3 of them. Earthshaker can be a little bit scary later on when he gets farmed, but this AA, this Veno, and this Viper, you can just run at them. They can't stun you or do anything or stop you from running at them with your Shapeshift, and that's exactly what we saw. He does have his Necro, so very, very nice rotation there from HR. Put themselves back in the driver's seat.
Oh my gosh, middle lane. Is that Ice Blast going to hit? It's not going to hit. If that hits, that's a kill on Queen of Pain. She actually might still die. They do take out Ancient Apparition, but yes, Queen of Pain does die to the poison. They went 3 heroes on to Venomancer to start that fight. The Epicenter can channel. It was a great execution, but And the Patos ends up getting a second kill on him, Milan, as I'm just talking about. I mean, that's Venomancer for you. It took so long to kill him. He used the Nova, he used the Gale, got the poison up, level 4 Poison Sting, and you saw them eventually tick down. So they got the kill, but really, really feels bad, man, in the long run there.
Well, that's just the Veno Viper combination, or not Viper, Veno Ancient Apparition combination. And he couldn't actually activate his ulti right away. I think he was stunned or something. But he wanted to just try to at least get it off. Nice try by him. But yeah, that combination can get even more potent when you get, level 3 ulti there for Veno. Some more ult levels up onto the Ancient Apparition. And on top of that, when you get a Radiance in the mix, which he's almost got in the Lone Druid, burning people down in an AoE, that's just going to be annoying too. So.
Yeah, 4,000 gold saved up here for Exotic Deer. He just got the Sacred Relic, in fact. So now that Radiance ever so close for him to pick up. Lycan at least has a level 2 Necronomicon, and again, especially considering the start to this game 4-3-3, he did overall a pretty good job as far as having relevance here. He's down there on the network chart, but again, he's not really far behind the other heroes. In fact, Viper is also not really doing the greatest necessarily. Dragonlance into a Hurricane Pike is going to be his choice, at least in the early game. And then the Maelstrom will come out, and then that farm will pick up. At least that's the intention right there. But Venomancer does finish the full pipe now, so yeah, even more difficult to kill, let alone a great ability for the team. And then the Yules even queued up another 1,200 gold saved up. Lone Druid, though, takes over the top farm as the Radiance is now just about finished.
Enigma? Oh, I like the Yules pickup. You don't see this very often from Veno, but I do like it. It gives him some added movement speed that he really lacks. Almost no one will get the plus 30 movement speed talent just because of how good the 30 experience is. So you're a very, very slow hero. Also just gives you the ability to cancel TPs, which he doesn't have naturally. Set up a Gale or anything like that. Just a versatile item, but you don't see it that often. It doesn't give you anything in the ways of tankiness, as do see. Looks like they maybe want to do something mid. They put a sentry down as they know he's invis. He backs away for the time being. They are pushing up top.
It's so close, but yeah, he is going to TP out, actually just back to the middle tier 1 tower. And realizing that perhaps they did see him. So Patos, he's got quite the large Plague Horde army up, though. And that's going to beat down this creep wave. But yeah, that Yules, it's almost finished even. Again, the farm of this Venomancer continuing to be impressive. And now you do have the Radiance finished onto Lone Druid. At least it's being delivered out to him as we speak right here. So Enigma has had the blink for a while. He's going to go blink right into that BKB. So the idea of that threat of the black hole, let alone having a big black hole, is definitely just about there. And it's going to be a great game for it. Ancient Apparition. He gets gone on the Ice Blast in return. They're going to kill AA, it looks like. Oh, he does get denied, actually. Yeah, Nisha, credit for the deny right there. Shapeshift, 3-3's going in. That's a rough target to kill. Physical damage is nice against him, but he will be blocked off as the Poison Nova even affects Lycan. Did not want him chasing, though. So they get the Ancient Apparition kill at least, but Shapeshift going to use it to go back and farm here.
Yep. And Lone Druid walks bottom, throws his bear with the Radiance up top. So he's pushing out that lane, and then he wants to be with his team for this maybe bottom tower push, especially with the fact that Lycan doesn't have ulti. There is a black hole with a blink up onto Enigma, so in terms of hard stuns, there's really only one. And then when you get BKB up on a Sexy Bambo, there's no way to stop this. So that should be a bit of a concern here for Team Kinguin. And maybe an opening point here for Team Hellraisers, as they have full immunity with this BKB black hole, and it's going to come online relatively quickly with that Midas up onto him.
So yeah, just about to ask that, but I guess that answers the question that you like the decision to go right in a blink BKB here.
Yes, absolutely. There is a Savage Roar if it's kind of if he ults in front of himself, but obviously the Earthshaker stun is like the main one. In fact, the only one. Maybe an Ancient Apparition cold feet if it's sitting there the whole time, but you've basically used your entire ultimate from Enigma anyway at that point. So
yeah, once he has that, you really got to be careful if you're Kinguin. I mean, already they're spreading out though, of course. Right now it's even a massive threat. Enigma jumps in. He's going to put the Malphite stun on the bear. This is Longer with that bear build in the backline. Shapeshift onto Earthshaker. He's Necronomicon. Those are just the minions at least. He throws out the Echo Slam as he's going down, but not really doing much damage to really anyone. In fact, Sonic Wave also takes on Ancient Apparition, so Kinguin just getting picked apart right here by a couple of heroes. And Kaiser's going to keep on running. He's going to distract them if anything, and he's going to pull them all the way back, in fact. You also have Lycan is still back here, and he'll actually TP away, but Hellraisers, really good distraction on their part. Pick off a couple of the supporting cast, and they'll defend the Tier 3 bottom push at this time. Does Kinguin maybe need to think about a Roshan before really trying to do this here, or they're going to keep going, it looks like?
Yeah, maybe. And this, they're trying to push this just because they know that Lycan doesn't have ulti.
Okay.
But they do have to be a little bit careful. Does he have BKB yet? Onto Enigma, he's so very close, but if he waits long enough, it won't matter, because the spells will already be cast. There is no Echo Slam. Looks like they really at least want just this Tier 3. That bear is dying, though. He has a resummon if it does die. That is the problem when you do go the bear build, especially pushing into heroes like Enigma. It's just that bear is very susceptible to being killed in a high ground push. So he does resummon. At the very least, I think they just want this tower so they can get some shrines, but it does look like they give it up for now. As Quap is doing some shenanigans, pushing this bottom lane, cutting the wave so they have no wave bottom.
Yeah, smart play by Hellraisers right there in terms of defending. They did not overcommit. They did the best thing possible as, Shapeshift. Wanted to run in right here. There's the catch from Sand King. They catch Viper. Remember, the Black Hole is also still ready to go. 3-3. Looking to chase. Hal's going to be popped. Has the minions up. Here we come from the side. Sexy Bambo. Now can use a Black Hole. Just a Malphite. And the Midnight Pulse taking down Viper. More than enough damage with the Orchid Burn on top of that. So Hellraisers continues to chase, and it pays off as they take out Viper. Now, Hellraisers, I wonder if they're going to be thinking about Roshan here. If anything, for a steal. Doesn't look
this
like
Lycan ulti is just countering pretty much all of Kinguin's team. Whenever he uses that, they're just in full retreat mode. If anything, they just need to throw the bear onto him to Savage Roar and then try to reset that way. But they have to play around this Lycan ultis, and they have to also be fearful of the Enigma ulti. So we're hitting. It looks like HR's hitting their stride right now, and it's going to be a big point of contention now that Enigma has his BKB, so he is totally involved. Now, there is, of course, I forgot, if he does position his ult in front of him, there is potential for a root to come out if he can attack from behind, and the ultimate is in front of him. So if he doesn't ult, he has to ult on top of himself, basically, which does reduce the range just a little bit, because you do want to hit as many heroes as possible in that black hole. So that is one thing he does have to worry about slightly, as there is an ult with an AA blast coming bottom. Kakor trying to get the kill on Kaiser, but it's not going to be enough, so they waste the ult. And he also feeds himself, unfortunately. So, interesting plays. I mean, that ult is only level 1, and he kind of missed the creeps, too. So, very unfortunate there for Kinguin, but fortunate for HR, as now that gives them an opportunity to maybe look for a fight, as they know the Echo Slam's off cooldown. Milan trying to run away, uses the Sandstorm. There is a sentry down, but so he will fall.
Yeah, at least something for Kinguin right there in terms of positive, but you're right. I saw that setup coming, but Kaiser with full life at the beginning of that. I don't know if he had Lich Armor necessarily at that time, but still, as we saw in hindsight there, even with the Ice Blast hitting, it did not matter. And Kaiser was able to get away and had support close by to turn him. Now, in comes another Ice Blast. We'll connect right here, kind of push the bottom lane, and going to make it difficult for securing that tower kill at least. So, with Sand King dead for another 15 seconds, instead of Kinguin's going to be the one pushing and going towards the top. Venomancer does have that Yule's now finished. Mentioned the idea of that earlier. Viper, his own Heaven's Halberd is going to be coming out right here, and that maybe is going to be their a little bit of an answer to the Lycan. We've talked about is just having what seems to be free reign this game so far with what he's able to do. But Heaven's Halberd make a lot of sense to you on the Viper here.
I think it's fine. Yeah, it gives him some added evasion on top of just being able to stop him from attacking
earlier on, as well as the Enchantress.
The thing that's scary is that Lycan actually is.
Think about what they want to respond.
I mean,
they
got that tower push, which is nice. But before that, his farm was still really not that great. And Necro 3 phase with 26 minutes is not impressive, but he's able to still do so much in fight. So it just goes to show you how good this pick was for Team HR. How when you can do a lot with very little farm, it just it puts that into perspective. So it looks like they want to try to do something. He's scouting out with some wolves. Actually, it will fade there, so no Echo Slam for 30 seconds. They are smoked up. Blink in here from Sexy Bambo. Here we go.
Orchid applied an easy kill in the end onto the Earthshaker, so they find him. He's dead for 30 more seconds. Echo Slam's going to be up in 20, so we'll be back up when he is up right here. But Hellraisers, once again, know they have an opening as a result of that kill and should be able to push the Tier 2 bottom lane. If you're Kinguin, the likelihood that they're defending with Earthshaker dead, no Echo presence, pretty much not there. So this should definitely be the easy tower kill. And I don't think they're going to go further, though, if I had to guess. Well, the Venomancer's running in, and maybe with this timing, Shapeshift form from 3-3, they're going to try to catch him. They lift him up with the Yules. Bring him right back down. Hal's been popped, healing up. The Chain Frost also causing a lot of issue. In fact, each apparition goes down. The Minion's also doing plenty of damage. Lich may end up falling for this, but he's playing quite the distraction for Lycan, who ends up TPing away now at the top lane. Meanwhile, Lone Druid's getting picked off. I was wondering where a couple of the others were, and that's exactly where they were. You got Enigma, Queen of Pain, and Sand King all coming together to drop Lone Druid, meanwhile, who's trying to do some split pushing. So they didn't get the tower kill, but overall, again, Hellraisers, a couple of solid kills for them. And more farm now for the Lycan and even that Queen of Pain here.
So that was kind of awkward. What happened was they put the cold feet onto the Lycan. He uses his shapeshift and starts to run away, which will naturally just get rid of the cold feet. But then right as the cold feet's about to kind of sort of proc, I mean, it never would have procced anyway, but the Venomancer then uses the Yules, but it didn't matter. It basically canceled the cold feet. So it was kind of a weird, awkward interaction right there. Didn't quite work out. If anything, you need to make sure you cast the Yules right after the cold feet, but he basically did it as it was fading.
Gets away, and Enigma, he's actually going to be able to TP out. As Viper was diving him of sorts, but didn't want to go too far. So Enigma, he's fine. The black hole presence, again, clearly an issue here for Kinguin. It goes back to that old saying, it's sometimes the fear of it is more dangerous than the actual use of the black hole right here, because especially now with that BKB, and yeah, you talk about the idea of the Entangle, but I'm sorry, it's like, that almost might as well not be, because not only is it just good luck position the bear in the first place to get that, but and then him having to use it in front of him, but then you have to have the RNG on top of that with the Entangle. So, Sand King, he's dead. All right, that's a quick kill.
And it is an Echo, but I think at this point in the game, you'd kind of take an Echo when you can. He's finding it very, very difficult to find actual good Echo slams, and into an Enigma, it's a bit difficult. So, Bear is trying to push out the top lane. Now he actually resummons it. Oh, they get a nice stun onto Enigma. This could be a feed. He does pop the BKB. He does have the Shrine. Of course, AA ulti is onto him, so he can't heal up just yet. But they do get that BKB out of him, so maybe they can wait in the back with a Earthshaker Fisher, although he is low on mana. No Soul Ring or mana boots for him, so he's going to be careful. He does actually go for the 250 mana talent, which is a bit odd, but because he has no mana items, I guess he has to.
Yeah, that's an awkward spot for Kinguin, because no doubt they would love to capitalize now on that BKB use, but as you're pointing out, they really just can't. By the time they reset right here, BKB's got 30 more seconds before it's ready, but it'll definitely be back up if they really kind of go back to this bottom lane, which it looks like they are actually. And they may try to still commit to this push, but again, by the time they're in here, Enigma's Black Hole, of course, is ready, and BKB now only 15 more seconds before that's online and ready to go as well. Shapeshift ready for Lycan. He does not have his own BKB, but Queen of Pain does, so proving to be a popular item for good reason this game, if you're the Radiant side. But Kinguin trying again. BKB's ready. Here we go. It's going to be activated. The Black Hole gets off on a couple, including Viper and the Earthshaker. They're both going to fall. The Sonic Wave even hits Venomancer the backlines. Niche actually survives for now, but no, Kai's going to run him down. He is disarmed, though. He can't finish the job. Sonic, the Scream comes out to finally finish it, but it took a lot longer than maybe expected. They do lose Sand King and Lich in response. Pato's quite the tanky target, so was Lone Druid, but may not be tanky enough, or maybe he is. He gets the kill on Enigma with the bear right there. The Necronomicon Archer trying to finish the job, but no Exotic Deer juking into the trees. And he'll survive, so it seemed like Hellraiser's a big start. They didn't get the upfront kill on a Viper, and that kind of slowed things down a bit.
Yeah, the lineup here for Team Kinguin is very, very tanky. In fact, they have double pipe. Just put in perspective how much they want to push the whole tanky issue. I mean, Patos has one, of course, we saw that early on. Lone Druid built a second pipe. obviously, I think the hood would have been just fine for him, but really wanted the pipe, I guess. There is a regen up top. It does look like the AA might fall. Taking some damage, but a nice stun there from Earthshaker. Maybe keeps him at bay. Does Quap going for this? Oh, he didn't hit this. Yeah, very, very close to getting that, but Cockroach was there, kind of scaring him a little bit. Kaiser taking an ult there from Viper. Does force out the BKB because that stun was coming out in 1 second from the Earthshaker. And I believe that, is that his 10-second BKB? Nope, this is 9-1. He used it once last fight. Okay.
Yeah. So now he's going to be down to 8 seconds right here. But yeah, he probably had to at that point. He got overcommitted going for that pick on Ancient Apparition, the tunnel vision, and thus we saw the end result for him. So that's going to be on cooldown for a little bit longer again, but a smoke up play middle lane. They're going to catch Lich. So J4 just throws out the Chain Frost. Might as well, as he's dying anyways. And make a little bit of slow happen. But with that pick off, probably going to transition into the tier 2 middle tower here. Or maybe not. They might want to do Roshan.
Middle tower is under attack.
Black Hole is still down for another 30 seconds. So perhaps that opening they're looking for. As Kesor still chasing. Enigma going to be hit by the fissure in the backline. So the Orchid comes out. And the nice Burrow strike on top of that Sonic wave there from Queen of Pain. Does finish the job, but meanwhile Roshan being attempted by a couple other heroes, and not enough of a distraction though. They lose 2, so they can't commit to it now. And now it's Hellraiser's turn to possibly try to poke at it, but clearly Roshan's going to be of interest here for both sides at this point in the game.
Yep, there is a BKB up now onto Lycan. He did not have it that last fight. He does have an ultimate as well. I will say that Lone Druid did a really good job about pushing lanes out. He pushed out bottom alone with his bear. Now he's pushing out mid with his bear. This could maybe still be a fight here for Team Kinguin. Yeah, they start to go in.
Malphite stun on Venomancer. He has his Poison Nova. Popsio's probably going to use it as soon as he comes down. There we go, the pipe, the Poison Nova. Sexy Mambo, he's TPing back, so he's not even going to be in this fight. Roshan's just about dead, but so is Patos, and Venomancer goes down after the side Viper. He's going to be stunned as well. Kaiser picks up the HS, and the Shapeshift form with 3-3 sitting on top, but realizing he's not going to win that fight, he starts to run. They get the kill to Sand King, a little bit too much slow, and 3-3 falls as well. Bottom lane, though, you look at the damage done. You mentioned that Lone Druid doing work. He does end up dying for this, but he gets the range racks down here and forces Hellraisers to ultimately react to it. So yeah, Sexy Bambo was kind of porting out as that fight was happening at Roshan. It definitely caused a bit of a distraction.
I don't know why Lone Druid wasn't in melee form for that. Like, he didn't even use the battle cry there, I don't think. Maybe it just got off cooldown. It is a long cooldown, so I thought he just didn't use it. But regardless, if he was in melee form, I think he maybe even lives there. It really boosts his HP. He does have an AC right now, but yeah, that Chain Frost was hitting him like, I think it actually hit his hero 5 times. And with that extra HP, it really could have, and he barely died, and also almost killed both of them. So I'm really curious as to why he was not in melee form there. But nonetheless, gets the range racks, has his AC now for the next battle, and will be quite strong. He is farming very well, as he's constantly, like I said, pushing out lanes with his bear.
I'm also looking at the farm on Enigma right here. The Octarine Core is actually almost finished, and he did get the 15% cooldown reduction time as well, level 15. So the cooldowns are going to be pretty nice. I would not be surprised, honestly, to see a refresher. It seems like that's just the full goal here. Of course, for the Enigma, it's just Black Hole and the presence of it. So a second one, especially with all that CDR, does seem potentially pretty strong from him. But for now, the Octarine Core coming.
Yeah, I mean, the Black Hole low cooldown is very nice, but I mean, all his spells, double cooldown reduction. That means casting Midnight Pulse more often, casting your Malefice. I mean, Malefice is arguably one of the better stunts in the entire game. I hear an ultimate here from Lycan, and it's on to Patos. He's very tanky, though. We'll see if they actually go through with this.
I'd hope not. Well, Kaiser's actually already pretty deep. He will finish the job on Ancient Apparition. It's not going to come at a cost because a little bit too far away. Now Viper, he's gone on 3-3. In comes a big Echo Slam on 3 different heroes, but the follow-up just is not there. It was more of a stalling Echo than anything. It did not accomplish what they wanted, though. Viper goes down, Patos still being run down, and so is that Earthshaker. In fact, Hellraisers just continuing to just pick them off in separate locations. The epicenter going to be negated somewhat by the Yos. Kaiser's getting low, and he is going to end up popping the Aegis for this right here. So they lose Sand King. Is he going to go for the kill on Patos? He pops the hood, or the pipe even. And the fear away will keep Queen of Pain from getting that kill on Venomancer, actually. So, that's to show you again. He mentioned at the beginning of that whole fight that Venomancer a tanky target indeed. And ends up surviving, but I still think the whole fight, most certainly won by Hellraisers there.
Yeah, the Viper is just not able to really do much in fights other than just sit there and be tanky. He does almost have a BKB, so that's going to give him a new level of protection in these fights. To just stand there and slow people up. Again, he still doesn't do that much damage, but if he can slow people and just kind of keep them at bay. Again, the reason why Lycan is so strong is he just doesn't care about slows at all. So he has an ultimate, he has free reign, but very close to a BKB. I think he's, what, 500 gold away. That would be a very big item for him. The Earthshaker Echo Slam was nice, yeah, but I think you nailed it. It was really more of a stalling tactic, if anything. Like, hopefully you're scared and you run away, but I can't actually kill you. You know, kind of Echo Slam.
Yeah, Ancient Apparition wasn't really ready there, and Venomancer had used the Poison Nova previous to that, I believe. So it's just that idea of the combo wasn't really ready for follow-up. So in the end, Hellraisers 24-19 lead now as far as hero kills. I mean, the overall net worth is actually still favoring Kinguin, but a lot of that, you know, with the Lone Druid split push especially, is definitely feeling it and continues to go back to him. Now Assault Curios finished on that, and now a Mask of Madness even going to be queued up. So a pretty late Mask of Madness here, but still finding value in it for the bear.
Yeah.
As there we go. Brings him back,
yeah.
and is that kind of is that a sieging tool? Is that safe to say, like with the Mask of Madness?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, I mean, like you saw Bottom when he was split pushing during that Roshan fight. If they just forget about him for 1 second, he's gonna just rip their base apart with that demolish ability. So, yeah, sieging tool for him. BKB now up on the Viper. There was a potential pick-off play there from Kaiser as he was hiding in the woods, but his AC aura was actually hitting the Ancient Apparition through the trees, so it kind of gave a little bit of a tell there. They are throwing out just a casual ultimate. They're like, hey, we know you're there trying to split push and trying to pick off people. They might even think about a Tinker Ward up here in the top lane, just so they can scout out those shenanigans there from Kaiser.
Yeah, I like how it's just always referred to as the Tinker Ward. But
yep.
That's the hero that's made it popular, I know, so definitely could be something they think about as, and they just saw Queen of Pain doing exactly that. But bottom lane being pushed out while the distraction's happening up top a little bit. The Tier 2 tower is still up, though. We saw that fight happening at it earlier, and they have yet been able to actually finish the job. And we thought Venomancer was already tanky. He throws on now a Lotus Orb. As well. So Lotus Orb seems like it's going to be a nice purge effect this game in general, and obviously tanking him up that much more. So this Venomancer, good luck killing him, man. I know he had the... Okay, he did end up getting the Axe too, yeah. So I know he had that queued up earlier. What is this? Oh. It's Sand King. Okay. Another Echo Slam once again, but still.
Fast he attacks!
Yeah.
The bear, so it's funny because you don't typically see the bear build that often anymore. In fact, you don't see Lone Druid just in general picked up, so seeing this attack speed is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it just beats down the tower, so that's something to look forward to if you're Kinguin. As Kaiser, he knows Kaiser's in the area, I believe, and gonna end up blinking away before too much happens with that. Gem, by the way, on Ancient Apparition currently. Looks like that is his own. As Venomancer will keep the bottom lane from being heavily pushed in. Back to the top, they do catch Kaiser. Savage Roar comes out, the Ice Blast is going to connect in time, and they don't even need it. Kaiser credit for the kill, but that bear beat down, man. No doubt doing plenty. He's dead for 80 seconds. Does have a buyback. Definitely want to force this out if you're Kinguin here.
Yeah, double damage just picked up by Patos as well. So he's walking towards, yeah, if anything, they can definitely force this out. Obviously, there's still Blink BKB Black Hole for Enigma, and if things do go sour, he does have a buyback as well. So I thought they were just going to try to stall this out and wait for level 25 onto the Venomancer, as he's quite close, but this is an opportunity you need to take. So
here we go, Epicenter. That's on the bear.
Okay.
Half-life. That seemed like a very... Don't know about that. Okay. Kind of reaction. Middle lane. Double damage on Venomancer, as mentioned, so I'm going to take advantage of that, and now the bear is just going to go here and beat down the tower. Get that vulnerability to come out, but again, no Epicenter now. Queen of Pain still has that buyback. 25 more seconds before she's naturally up. God, they're just split pushing all three lanes here. really keeping them distracted. The bear is going to die. He will summon the new one. But you look at the top lane while that's happening. Viper's beating down this tower. He did not get the talent for the attack in the buildings, but using that range as nope. Sexy Membo comes in with the black hole looking for the kill on a Viper. It's to get stopped, but he didn't pop the BKB for that. And now Nisha is able to TP out freely. No. That was a misplay.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that he was maybe thinking that he didn't need to, but if you're committing a black hole, you need to make sure it's magic immune. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think it definitely should have done that. That top tower will be denied.
Top tower has been denied.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them, right? I mean, they unfortunately they didn't use the epicenter to really anybody except a bear. Got him down to half HP. They do hold. I mean, yeah, they lost to tier 3, took some damage in mid. I think they got that tier 3 in mid as well. So, but again, this is really favoring Kinguin. They're stalling for that Venomancer level 25. Like, that is going to be so... If they're having a difficult time defending now, imagine when those wards have 3 times HP and damage. So, and he's very, very close. So it's going to be way more difficult when he gets that.
Hold again, Black Hole. I mentioned the refresher. Will he use that right here? He hasn't used it just yet. He jumped in as if might have been making a play, but nope, not the case. 30 more seconds before that Black Hole. The first one would be off cooldown here. And so it looks like they are going to buy time for that at least. As that's a pause. A couple of the players DCing on Hellraiser's side. But you see Kinguin where they're heading. Definitely going towards the Roshan pit. And looking to get both the Aegis and the Cheese to follow. I've been thinking about this with Lone Druid, with this build especially. The idea, obviously Abyssal Blade is going to be great, but after Abyssal Blade, could you see maybe him going an Ags even this game? Or would that not make sense to you?
On Lone Druid?
On Lone Druid, yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly fine. In fact, usually, in the last 3 times I want to say I saw Lone Druid picked up, and he was played in bear form, they actually went Ags really early. Like second item I even saw sometimes. I don't agree with that, but yeah, I could definitely see a case for Ags this game.
Oh, now it's Earthshaker's time to DC here. Probably a restart of sorts. But yeah, proven to be a pretty tight first game here in the series. Kinguin versus Hellraisers, best of 3. Again, winner moves on to face Empire in the finals. Also claims that land spot here for the Skincoin WCA. The loser will be playing later on today in a third-place matchup, where $7,500 will be on the line. Winner takes all for that game there. And we'll be playing against Effect, who lost earlier to Empire. So, quick recap there as far as how the day has gone so far. But the double black hole from Enigma online. Well, they would love to use that opportunity perhaps in that Roshan pit. And if you're the Radiant side right here, you feel that they're doing Roshan, I assume you feel confident enough that you can run out and try to stop it, right?
I'm not so sure. It's hard to kind of navigate through all those Veno wards and possible Radiance burn and whatnot. Penguin are did I say Penguin? Kinguin are playing this well. As you know how strong a BKB black hole with refresher is. You have to split them up. You can't just go one. If you just go one lane, you're just asking to get 2 or 3 man black hole. So you have to split it up. And what they did last fight, I mean, they didn't even kill the Viper, but you basically have to have him as a sacrificial lamb, him or the Veno or even the Lone Druid. But if you're committing a black hole to one side, then you can at least secure another lane. So they're playing this well. Now HR, what they have to do is they have to jump early, and especially the fact that they have 2 ultimates on Enigma. So you can be a little bit more liberal with them, but they do need to jump early and recognize that fact that Kinguin are not just going to fight you straight up. They're going to split you, and they're going to utilize that split push power that they have with all the heroes.
Well, that Roshan, it's done way too fast. I mean, it seems like that they want to come over here and stop it, but unless they really go now, they might get here just in time. Venomancer, though, kind of cutting off an easier route. So was the Earthshaker. Off to the side, you also see Sand King goes in a pretty good time. The black hole comes out for a 60-man bow, and it's going to be snatched by Milan right there. They also got the kill on Roshan. The second black hole coming out, and Viper's in trouble. He's going to go down. Lone Druid's dead with no buyback. They buy back Ancient Apparition, but that's not going to matter. Venomancer's now going to fall as well, most likely. Pato's trying to live as long as possible. He is a damn tanky target, but he's not going to be tanky enough, and he too will go down. Well, Hellraisers, they decide to defend it, and the clutch timing, man, to go in when they did.
It was so low that I think the black hole actually killed it, and Stan King walked up and took the Aegis. That's how low it was. Geez, and you got the buyback on the Ancient Apparition. There's no buyback on Viper, no buyback on Lone Druid. Again, man, I hate to say it, but it seems like every game is kind of made or broken, make or break, off of Roshan. This could be a very big swing here for HR. The fact that I just said 2 main cores don't have buyback. Of course, Veno does, and yeah, he will use it right now, level 25. But, boy, huge swing here for HR.
Can they really get much out of this, though, with the buildings? That buyback, you mentioned level 25, so those Plague Wards extra powerful, and he's going to start throwing those down now, but the melee racks, it seems like it should be taking too much damage here to defend. Milan distracting them, shapeshift activated by 3-3 as he now heads towards the middle lane. The tier 2 is still up, so they have to kill that first. If they wanted to do more, probably not.
See, now I thought that was a misplay by Bambo because he actually didn't reactivate his BKB for the second ult. He just wanted to, and probably the reason being is like he had a very good ulti. He just wanted to cast it immediately before touching anything else. But it was a little bit iffy. He didn't use a second BKB, and he actually could have, Earthshaker could have just stunned. But if you saw, he actually just blinked directly into the black hole. He blinked. He literally blinked in the black hole.
No.
When he could have just, I think, fissured. Maybe he was just assuming he would have cast his BKB.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he didn't activate his BKB for the second black hole, and maybe could have turned things around there. But yeah, Kakor wasn't able to get any of his spells off that fight.
So now Kinguin having to react after what just happened, and goes back to that. This is definitely still a winnable game for them, but yeah, another Roshan fight that swings it in favor of one team, in this case Hellraisers. They do take out the top set of racks. And now Queen of Pain, she's level 25 herself, which means that 60% lifesteal. A Mjolnir just about finished, and you know, with that item, with that talent, it makes this hero insanely difficult to actually kill in these fights here. So that's going to be big news for Hellraisers. You have Lycan, who of course is also getting closer and closer, and that shapeshift duration is a nice ability for him to have. And then you have the Lich thrown on top of that, just constantly armoring up the base end. And if he manages to get level 25 as well, at this rate, he could very likely, with how things are looking in the near future, then good luck killing buildings, man. I mean, they're gonna be that much tougher to kill. I mean, yes, the bear build is made for destroying buildings ideally, but it's going to become a much more of an uphill battle, is the point here for Kinguin, as we continue to move along here. So the Axe on Lone Druid, it is going to be the choice for him right now. But is that necessarily the answer right now?
Well, I think it's one of the only things you can do. The problem with Lone Druid in the melee form is that you fall off so fast. I mean, you see how when you put that much gold into your bear and it dies instantly, basically. I mean, those talents really don't do anything to keep him more tanky. So it's really a sad feeling when you've put that much time and farm into a bear and then it all goes to waste when it dies. So I guess the good thing with the Axe is that, yeah, if your hero dies, you can still use your bear if it's up and whatnot. But we'll see how much split pushing he can do. I mean, that's pretty much what he's going to have to do, being down 10k and facing up against double black hole. And the Malefistun really owns your bear as well.
Yeah.
So he's in a hard place.
Yeah, the Enigma definitely proven to be a very valuable pickup this game. That was one of the first 2 picks. Yeah, the Lich Enigma came out there, so confident draft from Hellraisers, and paying off pretty big time for them, with that Mjolnir now finished on Quap. I think level 25s in general being hit soon on multiple heroes here in this game, so keep an eye on that and what talent choices they do eventually make. But you just see Hellraisers kind of taking more and more control of the map right now. They don't have the greatest vision aggressively necessarily, but at the same time, Kinguin doesn't really have any vision at all, other than one they have down here near what is that bottom tier 2 tower, which happens to still be up, but is probably going to be dropped here as they're rotating over to that area. They still haven't killed the shrine either, and they're not going to kill it currently yet. I mean, they might as well, right? Like, running by. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Gonna kill that.
Bambo actually takes over converts one of the Lyca wolves. He's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, seriously. My buddies. All right, so they kill the shrine, kill the tier 2. Kind of choke them out. We just heard the Aegis got reclaimed. If you're Hellraisers, you probably wait for that, or do you want to just force the issue now, you think?
Well, it looks like they want to force the issue, and I think this is fine. They have an Arcane Rune up onto Enigma. That's a 66-second cooldown black hole, man.
Wow.
Oh my god. That's some cooldown reduction for you. They really want to take advantage of that. It actually is fading in about 3 seconds, so he might not be able to use it, which is unfortunate. But so it's going to go from 66 to 102. Still a decent cooldown, but would have liked to see that used.
Yeah, so not going to force it in the end. Fall back. You have Sand King actually pushing out top, as well as Lycan porting back there. And Kinguin's going to go for a smoke play themselves. They're smoking around the Viper just in case a jump would happen. And going to run out into their jungle, maybe try to get some vision down. Ancient Apparition doesn't actually have wards on him, so never mind about that. But they'll be able to steal a double damage ring at least.
Double damage
for the Venomancer here. So they find something. There is a gem on Earthshaker as well. And they really are going all the way to the top. Now, if you're the Radiant side, you see that bottom push happening from the creep wave. Nobody's defending it, so that should be a little bit of information there. Like, all right, what's going on?
So, I think Lone Druid sold his full pipe, because I don't see it anymore.
Oh,
and it's
right.
not on the bear. So, that's
Oh.
that shows how invested he is into this split push build. He even buys boots of travel for his bear, so this is just effectively a completely new hero. Like, this is their 6th hero. Only problem is this 6th hero dies super, super fast with any kind of stun. Might even want to think about a BKB onto the bear. He's actually going to go for the Deso, but I really think you need a BKB. When your bear dies in one Malphite stun, you need a BKB. But he wants the Deso. He wants all-out split push and all-out damage. We'll see. If his bear goes untouched in a split push, and they're able to force a team fight and make sure that Enigma and other heroes are away from the Lone Druid bear, then maybe this build will work out. But if they have anyone, like, here we go, Blink Malefice, that bear is probably going to die relatively soon. Yeah, I mean, within 3 seconds, right? Like, it just dies way too fast.
So now 2 minutes. If it dies in the next 2, it's almost like not having a buyback in that sense where he'll
yeah, it is.
be dead. So you have to be a little bit careful with that, as he's going to be pushing out the top lane. But you're right. I mean, he didn't even finish that Abyssal Blade either. He's still just sitting on the Basher as well. So, yeah, that's what he has queued up. Obviously not committed towards it, but we'll see if that change of mind happens, maybe even with that death right there, thinking, okay, maybe a BKB is going to be necessary. But Nisha will throw out a pause and maybe talk it over how they want to continue to approach this game, because it seems like it's continuing to be more and more difficult. As we move on here, a 13,000 net worth lead now in favor of Hellraisers. And again, Lycan, he's basically a couple of creep kills away from level 25. Enigma's just about there. And it'll be fun to see what Enigma gets. I know, I mean, the +8 demonic conversions, that means just massive push into the base to try to actually finish things could be fun. But
yeah,
12 armor.
It could be.
Too.
I think this game, just because of Radiance and Plague Wards and whatnot, and spam, that your Eidolons are just going to end up feeding too much gold. And that could be an issue, so I'd prefer to see him get the 12 armor this game. Although that being said, I don't see any damage coming out from this team of Kinguin, and if it is damage, it's going to be magic damage, not physical damage. The problem with this lineup, again, is that they had a plan of just getting tanky and just pushing. You saw. I mean, you were asking a question like, should they really be pushing this early? It's like, well, they felt they had to.
Yeah. And
so they bought tanky items. They bought double pipe, completely abandoned that route, as he even sold his full pipe. And now the problem is that you have this Venomancer that went for not the Hurricane Pike kind of Solar Crest damage build. Yeah. And he's gone for just utility with the Yules. It's turned out to be a bit of a mistake. Maybe not his fault, of course, but just the nature of the game. I think he's played just fine, actually. I think he's actually been one of the better players on this team so far this game. But it's just been the nature of the game for them. They, team fights didn't go their way. A disastrous Roshan fight, really, that turned the entire game. And now they're in the back foot and trying to go for some Plan B action with split push from Exotic Deer. That's quite the name, too.
Yeah, one of these fun names over here from the European region. But Viper, also was just felt a little underwhelming as this game has picked up as well, but that just kind of naturally happens
That's
for the
Viper.
hero. He wins.
That's not his fault, man. I feel for him in this kind of game. Is when you're Viper, if you're not getting anything done, it's the complete opposite. You're either owning or you're not.
Yeah.
At all. And now he does have Maelstrom. Going to go for Mjolnir. This is a new level for him. He's actually going to be starting to dish out some damage here. But like I said at the draft, I really liked their opening. They had AA, Veno, Earthshaker. Very, very strong opening, but their closing just did not do it for me. The Viper was like, meh. Lycan pick really countered all their heroes, and then the Lone Druid just wasn't convincing to me. And the melee build has not really been working out thus far, at least in the later stages of the game. We'll see. We'll see if there's lots of disconnect. Wow.
I think they're like all restarting or something.
Must be.
Yeah. Because Venomancer did that, and then he came right back, so it looks like, yeah. Reason. I always love this. The admin always likes to, what's the reason? I mean, yeah, they're trying to figure that out, I guess.
Well, in FPL, there's the unofficial rule that you always have to state a reason when you pause, even though no one never does. So
Yeah.
whenever someone pauses, someone always... Oh, more disconnects. Whenever someone pauses, there's always an instant spam of reason.
Yeah. The troll comes out,
But ping issues, unfortunately.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, well... Yeah, they can spend as much time as they want talking about ideas in this pause right here, but it just is going to come down to no doubt needing some sort of mistakes, perhaps on the side of Hellraisers, getting Quap maybe just out of a little bit too far out of position, and catching her somehow. But yeah, the burst damage on this dire side is, unless you get like a big Echo Slam off, it is very limited in terms of what you can really put out when it comes to that damage. So that's not even necessarily the most likely thing to happen either.
You know what? It would be funny if both Lycan and Enigma were like, let's just go for our summons, our level 25 talents. And so Lycan gets double wolves, then you have 16 or whatever it is total Eidolons. So, or actually it's +8 on top of the 3, right? So you'd have, was that 11?
11, and then they split
22.
up, so yeah.
You have 22 Eidolons, 4 wolves, Necronomicons. That could be a treat to watch.
Yeah.
And the server explodes.
That could happen. And I'll get Helm of the Dominators here. Just really make that push.
Yeah, maybe that should be Kinguin's next plan, is just try to get the server to crash.
Remake the game, yeah. Deserve a remake. Oh.
No, but that shapeshift is so good. And I'm curious to see what he does with this 6k gold. He has a random Blightstone. Maybe he goes for a Deso here just for added negative armor and just added damage. They have the AC, of course, up onto Queen of Pain. So we'll see what he goes for. Maybe even, I was going to say Refresher, but you don't really need that with your talent. So.
Oh, yeah. It makes it, 33 seconds? With the plus 15, so... Yeah, 33 seconds with a cooldown of 51 seconds here, so not a whole lot of downtime in between the shapeshifts. But yeah, no, that talent, it's definitely just too good to pass up for him, it feels like. So Lone Druid's back. All right, we're actually going to pause.
Game will end in 60 seconds.
This has been a theme. The big pause near the end of the game.
Roshan game-breaking fight, check. Long pause towards the end of a game, check.
And all we need is that victory here for Hellraisers. At least that's what you'd figure. The way things are looking in bottom lane. Maybe they're a bit of an opening. Venomancer just going to push out the creep wave. Throws down some more Plague Wards. You got the top lane. Lich is pushing it in by himself, actually. Even just throws out that Chain Frost. Gets it to bounce over to Viper a couple of times. Try to keep the lane pushed in. But yeah, we see more and more Liches just doing that. Just simply using that to push out a creep wave. Enigma's going to check for Roshan. Realize it's not up yet. It's about a minute and a half before he comes up, so not going to be happening very quickly. So that might be our window where this game will last at least a little bit longer due to that here. But okay, you do see BKB is queued up for Lone Druid now, but it's technically after the Desolator, so we'll see if that's going to be his decision ultimately or not.
I really think he needs it before, but that's just me personally. He's going to have to throw his Midas on his hero, so we can continue getting that gold from that. Obviously, he actually isn't level 25. So, even though he is doing the melee form, I still think you get the Savage Roar cooldown. I've never really seen anyone get the Entangle duration. That Savage Roar cooldown is just so important in team fights and whatnot, and just being able to spam it out and have a low cooldown. So we'll see what he does, though.
Viper Mjolnir is basically finished on him. He just needs to go pick up the Hyperstone. Going to get there safely is the question. He's going to push out this bottom lane. Queen of Pain is nearby, though. He's not going to go for it. That's probably the better decision. Probably send that courier out there.
And Viper just hits level 20 or 25 as well, so he's got that plus 20 armor talent.
Okay.
It's very, very nice for him. So some level 25 talents are coming up. Well, obviously, the supports on Kinguin. As they try to bait this out, Enigma runs in. Gets the BKB off, though.
There's a Black Hole. Has a second one, remember. Earthshaker, he's dying to this. The bear goes down. And the resummon will be ready. So he resummons it immediately at this time. But again, a second Black Hole is ready for the Enigma now. That seemed like that was Earthshaker jumping in, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right there, okay.
That was double jebaited right there. That was, they were baiting out someone to come farm top. Earthshaker ran in with AA as well. But the Sand King was there baiting the Enigma too, and Sand King with a really, really quick follow-up stun, actually saving Bambo, and then thus allowing him to cast his ultimate. So it was kind of just good plays on both sides, but there is no Echo Slam. Look at you can see Bambo as he hits level 25 right there. He was thinking for a long time, which do I go? Which do I go? And he does actually go for the 12 armor.
All right. Boring, but yeah, understandable. Double damage rune, of course, naturally spawns as soon as they finish Roshan there, and Queen of Pain picks it up. Still has the half duration left on it, hitting really hard now. And they're just going to sit nearby.
He goes Octarine Core on Lycan. I love it.
Okay.
So that's a 38-second cooldown, and we said 35 seconds of shift, so 3-second downtime.
33 seconds. So it's a 5-second cooldown.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, still, that's
NA
absurd.
math, you know.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, no, that it does kind of make sense. You mentioned the idea of the refresher, but when it's so close, this is actually just going to be better value, anyways.
Wait, he has no. It says 38 cooldown, and it says it lasts. Oh, because does it factor in that talent? Anyway, I'm talking about things as people are dying.
Ancient Apparition is dying, and Lycan's going for that middle tower. He's going to be disarmed, pops the BKB, though, goes right back in. Meanwhile, the bottom lane also being pushed in, so Kinguin's in this spot now of having to focus on two different lanes. Queen of Pain, she gets stunned up, has the Aegis, though, remember, as well as that Spellsteel talent, the Mjolnir coming up, and the Sonic Wave hitting multiple heroes, so she heals up to full. At least Chain Frost bouncing around. It's jumping from Patos. With the Poison Nova, Nisha assisting from a distance with the right clicks as well. But the middle lane, the damage has been done. Sexy Bambo, he pops the BKB as he runs away right here. He still has that Black Hole. You look at the bottom lane, massive creep wave push, as well as the Bear going for the finish on the melee racks. Pops the Mask of Madness. Invulnerability comes out, though. Can he maybe still kill it? Yes, he can. It will be an easy kill in the end for Lone Truth. And he has another summon here. Oh, my God. That was close. Popping the Aegis.
Of course, he did have Aegis anyway, but yeah. So I guess with the talent, it updates your tooltip or whatever in your ultimate. So
yes,
it's actually, yeah. Okay, I was like, so wait, that must be a 48-second
no
duration.
Yeah, it's normally 18, I want to say, and then plus the 15 there. So yeah, it's nearly 100% uptime, pretty close. But yeah, going back to that fight though, I mean, you look at the damage done by Hellraisers. Really, all they got was the middle tier 3. I think the bottom was already down, and a little bit of damage on the melee racks. And obviously, Lone Druid was able to get the melee rack spot him. So, considering the game, I mean, that feels like that actually went pretty damn good for Kinguin.
He also got some other melee racks. I believe he got the melee racks in mid, and he got it up top as well. So, he actually got a lot of damage done. Does have to resummon his bear. This is his last bear for the 60 seconds, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't lose this one. As a Blink ultimate coming in from Patos is trying to slow things down.
Guys just going to the bottom lane. There's a Black Hole, though, from Enigma. Drops Ancient Apparition immediately. Viper also going to fall here, it seems like. And he has a buyback. Echo Slam in return. They pop the Aegis at least on a Queen of Pain. Sexy Bambo does not have... he does have another Black Hole, actually. He'll catch a couple. Venomancer and Earthshaker included. Kaiser helps to finish them off. Buybacks immediately on all of those heroes, though. And they're looking to defend. Now, the Bear is here for Lone Druid trying to assist in this fight. Lone Druid himself, he is getting low. Remember, he has that Axel. Sonic Wave. The Bear, the Entangle procs onto the Queen of Pain right here, though. The lockdown with the Bash procs, and Kaiser barely blinks away in time. He does not have the Aegis anymore, then he will end up falling. He has a buyback, but the Lone Druid Bear doing work. The auto attacks of Viper also assisting plenty. However, the Midnight Pulse down with Lone Druid may end up falling, as he does. But again, the Bear will remain alive. Buyback from Queen of Pain. We're in that spot right now where everybody's buying back, including Lone Druid. Once again right here as Sand King goes down, and now there's a gem just sitting there on the ground. What happened? Where the hell are we at after that whole fight? I mean, I feel like everyone... Oh, we're still going. They're still buying back. Okay.
They want to end this game right now. Now this is a bit scary because if one of those big cores dies right now, it could also swing the other way. Here we go, Kaiser. Woo! Playing with fire right there because there is a basher up on that Bear as well as an Entangle, of course.
Yeah.
Very, very scary stuff. He does, of course, have a BKB, but yeah, if you did get first hit bashed, could have been in some trouble there. Trying to take out that last set of racks in mid. It'd be nice if Lone Druid could somehow get his Bear towards the bottom lane or just try to do some split pushing. I'm not sure, but he could probably... I wonder if he could take out those racks with through backdoor protection. Anyway, here we go. TP's in. Necros are out.
They're going all out for the melee racks right here. Patos dive bombs in, though. Pops poison up. All the BKBs being used on either side. Queen of Pink currently disarmed. Nisha standing his ground, especially with that armor. 3-3's having a run. He's going to die, though. He still has his buyback. He's one of the two heroes that actually still has one. Yule's in the background. They catch Earthshaker. He's dead. The Chain Frost slowing down Venomancer as well. Buyback on a 3-3 as we see right there. Kaiser going in. Sonic Wave in 15 seconds. The auto attack still Viper dealing plenty. Going to force him to blink away. And again, the all-in dive of going for the melee racks and eventually the mega creeps doesn't necessarily work out for Hellraisers. And they're going to have to think about doing this again. But, I mean, sure, they don't have an Echo Slam, but these cores now are clearly dangerous from Kinguin's side. Dealing plenty of return damage.
And there's an MKB freshly picked up by Nisha. He has no buyback, so he's all in terms of items. We go another ulti here from the Lycan, of course, is pretty much always up. Blink in aggressively from Kaiser. I hear an Epicenter as well.
Catches the Bear. He does have a resummon, but if he dies, he can't resummon. Lone Druid's going to die. The Bear's going to die. And that means Lone Druid's completely out now. The second Black Hole and catches two more. The Sonic Wave, and that may just do it for Hellraisers. No buybacks on any hero. Venomancer, the last man standing. He's a tough kill for sure. But he's also not necessarily able to do the most original. As I say that, the wards, oh my god, he's actually doing plenty. Holding right here. Oh, and now they have Earthshaker back up, so maybe this game isn't actually over just yet.
I think Sand King bought out too. Yeah, he did. So he actually TP's back. He's scared. Bambo, of course, used double BKB. Here we go. Echo Slam coming in. Stuns. He has a buyback.
Going for Mega Creeps, though, in the meantime. Sexy Bambo, he's going to barely stay alive. They do get the Mega Creeps, though, for that. Bambo somehow still up. He has a BKB. The Glimmer Cape save. The health. The ward damage. Okay, Venom will finish him. He just jumps in. And there's the buyback, though. And now here comes the final push to actually finish the game for Hellraisers. So it is going to be official. Game one going to go to Hellraisers here over Kinguin. What an entertaining finish, though. I mean, you look at the Radiant base here. This definitely could have gone the other way with a couple of hero kills in their favor.
Yep, really could have gone the other way, but when you're into the late stages of a game against an Enigma and you have absolutely no counter to Black Hole, BKB Black Hole, I mean, even when he didn't have BKB, there was only one counter to stop that. There's only one stun. So you're just asking for a rough time, and with Octarine and the cooldown reduction talent, it's just always going to be a fun game with Enigma. So had a great one. Had some very, very effective Black Holes towards the end there. But again, like I said, it's very easy to get those Black Holes when there's just really no counter to your hero whatsoever.
Ooh, fun first game. Just over an hour long. So that's kind of been the theme of this event. A couple of things that happened. The Roshan fight, though, you do look back at that, and that's what actually put Hellraisers ahead initially. And then you saw the end result eventually coming through a little bit later. So Hellraisers takes it, though. They're up 1-0 in this best-of-3 series. Kinguin going to have to respond now. Shake this one off going into game number 2 at this time. So, yeah, they value that Enigma pick, and clearly a comfortable hero for them. I don't think you think about banning that hero, though, right? If you're Team Kinguin, maybe more along the lines, if they do pick it up, try to maybe get a little more response to that black hole.
Yeah, I mean, you could ban it, but yeah, that is curious, the fact that they've picked it up in their first 2, and in fact they had 4 heroes that they could have picked in response at that time.